Howdy everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be doing an episode of World in Flames Collector's Edition Days of Decision 3 Combined Game Playthrough. This will be the January-February 1941 turn. So far we've completed 6 years. Just about 6 years. 6 years a game, and hopefully we get a chance to finish this game because it seems to be interesting. It's definitely gone off on a different tangent from the historical World War II. Alright, so let's get right into it. Oh, before I do that, I want to go over U.S. entry a little bit. There was a lot of action the last couple of turns, especially political and diplomatic. And so the U.S. entry right now for Germany is 66.5. For Italy it's 23, and for Japan it's 32. Now what does that mean? That means that the entry levels have become high enough that the Americans can start taking action against the fascist powers. Now what that action will be, well, we'll probably see in future terms, because the U.S. has another agenda right now. They want to get that done. They have a gear up coming, and they definitely want to get that done. So let's take a look at starting money, and we'll go from there. Excuse me. All right. Starting money for the major powers. We have Germany at -10, Japan at -6, Italy at -1. The USSR at -4, the Commonwealth at -4, the US at -9. I think that's supposed to be a -8. -8. No, it's -9. I'm sorry, -9. China at 1. The Free French are at -4, and Vichy is at 8. But that really doesn't matter too much. They really can't build anything other than ships, which could end up in the hands of the Free French anyway. So, I mean, as far as the fascists go, why would they have the Vichy build anything, right? Alright, so let's, the major powers have got their bids in. So let's take a look at how the initiative positions for the major powers is going to work out for this turn. Take a look at the track. There we go. Okay, so we have the U.S. bidding 2, the Soviets are bidding 4, the Commonwealth is bidding 1, Germany is bidding 2, and Japan is bidding 1. So, the U.S. is going to come in first because they bid 2 and they get a +4. If you can see that. There we go. They bid 2. And they get a +4, so that's going to put them at 6. So they will be first. The Soviets bid 4. They're down here in 6th position currently. They get a +1, so that's going to be 5. So that's going to put them in 2nd. The Commonwealth bid 1. They get a +3, that's 4. The Germans bid 2. They get a +2, that's 4. And the Japanese bid 1. They get a +3, that's 4. So we had a 3-way tie. And the tie will be broken by the political effectiveness. Germany and the Commonwealth are tied at 7. And Japan is way down here at 4. So when the political effectiveness doesn't break the tie, the current order breaks the tie. So the Commonwealth will be 3rd. Germany will be 4th. And Japan will be 5th. So the first last card goes at the U.S. and the second last card goes at Japan. The remaining order, we have the Italians at +2, so that'll put them at 6. The Free French are at +1, they're 7th, and China is in 8th. Okay, so let's start with the United States. Let's go see what they're going to do. The U.S. this year can gear up, and that's exactly what they're going to do. So U.S. entry for that is going to be a +9, -1 for the Neutrality Act pass, so it's going to end up being a +8 for U.S. entry. And the minor effects are all up here, which I've already put out on the board. So all I have to do is pay the money, and then we come back and activate a minor. Not quite sure who the U.S. is going to activate. There isn't really a lot of good choices. I'm going to go take a look at really isn't any good choices. I think the U.S. is going to activate Ireland. We got 2 U.S. there. Come over to the status display. This will be real simple. Simple and easy. The 2 U.S. Ireland's way down here. It's going to move it this way towards the U.S. 1 hex. Now we don't roll to end the political phase because there's a +1 to the die. So I can't get a 1 when you have a +1 to the die. So we'll move right on over to the Soviets and see what they're going to do. And I bet probably guess what they're going to do too. They can also gear up this year. And that's exactly what they're going to do. So I will come back in a few seconds after I put the minor effects out and record the U.S. entry, which is going to be a 6, not 7, because of the Neutrality Act. And I'll pay the money and we'll come right back with activating minor. Okay, well, Stalin is a little irritated because I just realized that when I went over to pay for it that they actually don't have enough money to actually do their gear up. Their credit limit is only 10 and they were at minus 4 plus the additional points that they had bid. That pushes them below the minus 10. So they won't be able to actually do a gear up this turn. So I would assume the finance minister for the Soviet Union is probably floating face down in the Moscow River just about now. So what they're going to do instead is they're going to do increased bid points, so at least they'll have a chance of being first next turn. So I have to roll to see if the political phase ends. That will end on a 1. Then I'll roll the 6. So the political phase continues, and next up, I already have them out, is the Commonwealth. And the Commonwealth is actually going to gear up. This is a year they can gear up, 1941. Yeah, I just went back over and checked it again. So they will be gearing up. The cost for their gear up is 10 money. It is their year to gear up, 1941. There's some minors that get affected. So I will go put out all the markers and I will come back with activating a minor for the Commonwealth. Back in a sec. Okay, it's time for the Commonwealth to activate a minor. And they're going to try to do a favor for the U.S. because the U.S. has eyes on this country. And going to try to clear out all the negatives that are in there right now. So we're going to activate Venezuela. Okay. You can see Venezuela down there, way down there in the corner. So let's see what we got for markers here. We got a lot. We got French -2. We got a Japanese -9. We got an Italian -1 and an American -2. So, all that being said, the Japanese, the Italian -1 is not going to do anything. We have a French -2. Alright, we'll activate that one. That one's going to move it this way, so it's going to move it probably towards N. Now, Japan. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's exactly 11 away. So the Japanese can move it 1. Their 9 points are only going to move it 1. It's going to move it off the board to the N over here. Just like that. Okay. Actually, probably should have done the Japanese one first. That would have moved it off this way, and then it wouldn't have, it doesn't matter. Okay, so now the US one, we have a -2 for the US. But the 11 hexes is counted on board. So you take the US, it's way over here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's as far as it's going to get, and Venezuela is down here. So those -2 for the US are not going to affect Venezuela. Okay, so last thing the British are going to do, or the Commonwealth, I keep calling them British, but they're the Commonwealth. Last thing they got to do is roll a die to see if they end the political phase. Rolled a 9, so I guess we'll keep right on a rolling. Now, Germany was going to do something else because they're next up. They was going to do something else, but they changed their mind. And I just can't really see doing that at this point. So what they're going to do is they're going to build a factory of synth. They're going to build a synthetic oil. That's this counter right here. The cost is on the back. It's 7 money, 6 turns. So I will pay that money and put this on the production chart, and it will arrive this time next year. Yes, it'll be this time next year. Okay, so that's it for the Germans. They don't get to activate a miner for building factories of synth. At least I'm going to assume they don't. We just have to roll to see if the turn's going to end. Another 9. Nope. Guess we keep on moving. I'll be back in a second with the Japanese. They are up next. So Japan is going to do minor joins in. They already have a minor alliance, and they're going to align Siam. Now, it's not hostile, it's not allied, it's not a civil war. So yes, they fulfill all the prerequisites. The money is 5, which I have paid for. Japan is now sitting at a -12. So all the fascist powers are in the tank right now. U.S. entry is 2 times the treaty chart. I looked on the treaty chart. You can see that. If you can see that, let's see. Yeah, you can right here. So that's Siam right there. The 1940-41 box is right here. There's no number, so there will be no U.S. entry. 2 times the blank is still blank. Japan gets to activate a miner, and I think who she's going to activate is going to be, I think it's going to be Argentina. Let's go take a look. I think she wants to do a favor for Germany. Maybe not Argentina. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe. Actually, we're going to activate Mexico. We're going to clear out the minuses. So it's not going to move anything on the status display. Just clears out some stuff. That's about it. Okay. And that is the end of the political phase, because Japan was the last card. I have rolled for initiative, and I have rolled weather. The weather roll was a 4, and there was a +1 from last turn, so that's a 5. So it's going to be snow, Arctic, snow, north temperate, rain, Mediterranean, and fair north monsoon, rain, south monsoon, and fair south temperate. There'll be a +1 to the die roll for next set of impulses. The initiative roll came out 3 for the Democrats, 5 for the Communists, and a 5 for the Fascists. However, the Fascists have a +2 down here versus these two having +1s. So that means the Fascists actually have a 6, which means they won. They decided they're going to go last, knowing that the weather was probably going to be pretty garbagey. The Democrats, the Communists decided that they'll go second, forcing the Democrats to go first. Okay, so let's go take a look at what we got coming in for reinforcements this turn. The reinforcement circle is kind of full. kind of a lot of stuff on it. This is actually a ship that needs to be repaired. These kind of got scattered around a little bit. Police this up a little bit. Probably should just trash them, but anyways. Okay, let's start here. We have a militia unit for the Germans. That is Stettin. Not a bad militia. The Italians have a militia. Libya. Well, at least it'll go in Libya. The Italians also have an infantry corps. That will go on the map. The Chinese have 3 units. And they got a nice infantry corps army, a infantry division, and a garrison army. Not bad there. The British have a couple of ships coming back that got repaired from, one of them's a carrier. So those will go in the home fleet, I believe. The carrier may be going someplace else, so I'll have to take a look at that in a minute. British, the Commonwealth also, I keep calling them British, but it's Commonwealth. They got 2 convoy points and a tanker point. I'll go into their allotment. We have a fighter. That's probably going to go on map. There's a pilot somewhere here for the Commonwealth, I think. And we'll just reduce their pilots by 1. All right, we have, we have a raider for the Germans and a sub for the Germans. Those are going on map. We have 5 offensive points for Germany. They will probably need those in Russia. Let's see, we also have a garrison division for the Germans and a Romanian IAR-80, which will go in the reserve pool. The Soviets got a nice white print infantry army. They also have a pilot here. I'll give them another pilot, up to 2. The Japanese have a couple of ships. Takeo, nice heavy cruiser. Those will be going on map. All right, the Germans have a Stuka, I believe. No, yes. No, Ju-88, I'm sorry. That will definitely be going on map. They also have a pilot. Credit their pilot. Yeah, and they have a couple more. They have a Heinkel 111H. That's going to have to go in the reserve pool for now. They have an 88mm anti-tank, anti-aircraft gun. They have a couple more subs. Get some subs built up. It's all going on map. The Commonwealth has a Sunderland float plane. That will definitely go on map. They will take the pilot for that one. They also have a Gladiator CAG. The Italians have a combat air group. They'll go in the reserve pool for now. The Japanese have a couple of combat air groups as well. They will go in the reserve pool for now. The Japanese have a pilot. We'll credit the pilot. And we also have a Special Naval Landing Force. There's another 2 convoy points for the Commonwealth. The Italians have a sub. That will go on map. They also have another sub. Some of these probably came out of the repair pool, and an artillery unit. The United States has a whole bunch of convoy points. Those will go over here. The United States also has 2 ships going in the construction pool. Actually, you know what? I believe these 2 subs were in the construction pool, as well as the Italian one. This one was. So he will go over here. I think the Italian sub was also in the construction pool. Yes, he was. So he will go over here as well. Can't mix them up. And we got a synthetic German oil plant that will go on the map somewhere. I think it has to go in a city. I'll put it right there. And we got a Italian light cruiser going in the construction pool, and a Tahoe going in the construction pool for Japan. Oh, and I have those are in the construction pool. All right, so that's it. I will get these on the map, and I will probably come back. The Democrats are going to move. The Communists are going to move. There's probably not going to be any combat because of the weather. And then when I get to the fascists, if there's something to see, I'll come back with that. So see you in a few. Okay, we have come all the way around to the fascist impulse. The Commonwealth sorted their fleet to cover their convoy lanes. The Communists moved a few units in China. The Chinese moved a few units. So now we're on the fascists, and we have a little bit of a naval battle, or a submarine battle possibly, going on in the Atlantic. Okay, let's figure this out. Okay, both sides have to search. The Germans have flipped the U-boat. Both sides have to search. So it's snowing. We have, both sides have a nav. So this box gets a +1 for the British, and this box gets a +1 for the Germans. However, it is rain, so the search rolls will both have +1s. The Germans will have a -1, maybe even a -2. I got to add up the convoy points we have here. It's 10 or every part of. There's 2 there. Got 4, 7, 9, 13, 14. There's a total of 14, so there's going to be a -2 to the die for the fascists. So +1s for the nav, for search boxes, +1s to the die for the Commonwealth because of rain, snow, net, -1 to the die for the fascists. Let's see what we get. Now, that certainly is interesting. We have a $10, I believe, and a 3. 10 and 3. You know, that die was cocked. I'm going to re-roll that one. Okay, don't matter. Rolled the same thing again. 10 and a 3. So, the Germans, their search box here is 2, but they have a nav, so that makes it a 3. They have a net to the die of -1, so that's going to be a 2. So this guy has naval air, so he's also going to be included in the combat. the surprise points. I can never remember this. Surprise points. Modified search number in the highest section of the C box plus their die, unmodified die. So 14. They have 4, 7. So that's 7 surprise points for the Germans. Well, we're going to pick U-boat, a submarine. Choose combat type, 4. So that leaves me with 3. I'm going to pick submarine. So that's going to be all my subs against the 0 box. Okay. Gosh, what did I do? All my subs against the 0 box, and I have 3 surprise points left. What can I spend those on? Okay, 2 per column. Decrease opponent's column. So we got to figure out their ASW. Alright, I will be right back with that in a second. Okay, we have 7 ASW factors. And I think the Germans are going to use their remaining 2 surprise points to shift that down to the 4 to 5 column. So there are 7 subs, so it's 1 damage and 3 aborts. 1 damage and 3 aborts for the Germans. So let's see what we got here. The Commonwealth picks first. They obviously want to get rid of as many subs as they can. So they're going to pick the 10. That's going to be damaged automatically. So he's damaged. I'm just going to, actually I'm going to put a little red die on him. Alright, he's damaged. Now I'll pick 8 for an abort. Okay, I rolled a 10. That's going to be, this guy right here has a half abort now. Now the Commonwealth will pick an abort. They're going to pick this guy. Where's my Commonwealth dice? That guy. And he is aborted. So this guy is aborted. And the last abort, we'll pick another one of the 9, another one of the 8s. Well, that time I rolled a 9. So he stays. So what we got left, this guy's aborted, he's out of it. Okay, so what we got left is we got 2, 5, 8, 10, 11, 12, and this is a half factor for this 12 and a half is going to round up to 13 factors. 13 submarine factors. Okay, and there's every 5 convoys 3, there's 7 of them, 8 of them. 13 submarine factors, 8 ships, 1 sunk, 1 damaged, 3 aborts. Okay, well, the sunk will take the convoys, so that's 3 convoys gone. Might as well just sink the Greek ones, I guess. And the damaged, the British are going to choose, who's this guy? Oh, they're all 8s, huh? Yep, okay, we'll take the dragon. See if he gets the damaged. Damaged. Dragon, you're getting damaged? You are indeed getting damaged, so he gets a red die. Now we got 3 aborts. 3 aborts. Aborts. I'm going to pick the convoys. I'm going to pick the DoDIII for an abort. The Germans will pick the DoDIII, and he is indeed aborted with a 7. So he's aborted. The British will pick, Commonwealth will pick the Cardiff for an abort. That's going to be aborted as well. And the final abort, whatever that one is. And he is also aborted. So basically all these ships just got aborted at the end of the round. I believe they all go away. This damaged guy, he also aborts at the end of the round. He goes into the repair pool, as well as that sub will go in the repair pool. And we roll to see the Germans are going to try to do another round of combat. So flip another sub, roll dice, see what happens. Well, nope, nobody found anybody. So that's the end of combat for this particular turn. I got to get these in the right boxes. Okay, these 2 are in this box. These 3 are in this box, and these 2 are in this box. The damaged guy got aborted. The previously flipped guy got aborted. I have to flip one of these. So I tried to do combat again. So lucky for the British, they'll be able to move somebody up there to help cover that. We also have a combat over in China. Let's go check that out. All right, we got ground strike first. We got 3 planes here doing a ground strike. That costs Japan 2 oil. So we got 1s and a 2. There's 3 units there. I'll go pay the oil. Okay, and grab my dice. Okay, so I'll roll the 2. I'm going to roll for the top unit down to the bottom unit. It's this stack right here. So for the first unit, the 2 1s. Oh, I rolled 2 1s. You have to see that to believe it. Where's my dice? Right there, 2 1s. Keep it right here. Show some dice rolls for once. Alright, so that flips that guy over. Now the next unit down, it's 2 1s and a 2. Nope. And the bottom unit, 2 1s and a 2. Oh, geez, my fingers, dice keep sliding away. So that the rest of them failed. But 1 did get flipped over. So these guys all go home. Okay. Now what we got here is we got 5 against 9, and 11 is 20. That's going to be a 4-to-1 plus 1. Do I use HQ benefits? Let's see. It's probably going to be a salt table. 4-to-1 plus 1. That's a 6. A 6 or better. Only half will get flipped over. Plus 1. Well, 2 would be kind of bad result. Yep, we're going to have to use HQ benefits. Alright. 4-to-1 plus 2. Oh my god, a 9. 4-to-1 plus 2, a 9, which is a 11. Asterisk 2S. There's the salt table. 4-to-1 odds column, down at 11. asterisk 2S. Japan just, you know, right through a tin horn, you know what I mean? So the only Japanese unit that's going to get flipped over is the HQ. So I decided to use HQ benefits. I didn't even need it, but hey, that's the way it goes. And we're going to occupy with this 5-3 here. I don't know if we're going to put, I think we're going to put that one up there as well. I might actually get an attack here. Nope, probably not. Not without that HQ. So we're going to actually leave the 5-4 here. And if he wants to attack that, hey, by all means, go ahead. Would not hurt Japan's feelings at all. And that's going to trigger a U.S. entry roll for taking of the city. And the Japanese roll a 2 for U.S. entry. So on the chart, U.S. entry is a 2, becomes a 5, it becomes a 7. It's a +1, but because of the American Neutrality Act, it becomes a 0. So there's 0 U.S. entry for that. I should, however, write that down, even though it's a 0. Otherwise, I'll go, did I roll for U.S. entry for that? And I won't be able to remember. All right. I believe that wraps it up for the fascist impulse. We'll go roll weather. We'll move over to the Democrats and roll weather. Come over here. I'm probably going to stay right here. I imagine the British are going to do something. Let's roll weather. 8. Oh, okay, probably nobody's going to do anything. 8 becomes a 9 on the weather chart. Let's show you the weather, what the weather chart looks like. I don't know if I've showed that before. Here it is right here. It's January, February, that's this column. And we rolled an 8 right here, which becomes a 9, which is blizzard, snow, snow, fair, storm, rain. The impulse marker moves up 3, and there's a +2 to the weather die roll for next turn. So I'm gonna kind of like run through the turn, see if anything actually happens. If it doesn't, I'll stop and I'll record it at that point. But I might just pick up at production after this turn is over, because I got a really good idea the weather's just going to be completely atrocious. So see you in a bit. Okay, we're back around to the fascist turn. Need some dice. What we got here is the home fleet sorted, left a bunch of ships in the 0 box. That's what they did for their turn. There was nothing going on in the Mediterranean. For the fascist turn, they are going to try to engage with the subs again. And I think it's the same as it was before. Yeah. Oh, this is snow though, right? This is, yeah, it's snow. Yeah, it's still snow. Blizzard in the Arctic though. Well, there's a die roll. 2-9. So, okay. Well, that's bad. We have the Germans are, their 3 boxes is a 3 box, and their 4 box is a 3 box as well. So, and their 2 box, their 1 box also becomes a 2 box. So they actually got everything in the battle if they want it. I probably don't think they're going to. The Commonwealth, however, roll a 9. They have nothing. So the Germans are going to pick, oh, the surprise points are going to be 12, are going to be 6 surprise points. So the Germans are going to pick sub warfare again. Now let's figure out they actually have 5 ships here, and these are each worth 1 point. That's 5. Yeah, 1, 2. I counted them once, but I forgot. 6, 8, 10, 8, 12, 13. So they have 2. They have 5. So they have 8 ASW points. I do that surprise right? Because there should be a -2 to the German die. Your modified search number. Your opponent's unmodified search die. Okay, opponent's unmodified search die is a 9. Highest section is a, yes, that's right. So it's going to be 12, and he's going to be 4, 6, that's 6. It's +6. So I'm going to select a combat type, sub-war. And we said it had 7. 9 ASW is 8, 10. I got 1 column shift. So we'll shift them down to the 6, 7. I only have 6 ships now. That's going to be 2 damaged and 3 aborted. 2 damaged and 3 aborted. Alright, so for the damage, let's see what old Britain. Oh, actually, I only have 5 ships. Oh, that's less. That might be less. Let's check that out again. 5 ships. No, it's the same. 2 and 3. Oh, he has 7 ASW points. I'm sorry, he has 7. So now it's going to be 4, 5. I have 7 ships. He's got 1 damage, 3 aborted. 1 damage and 3 aborted. All right. 1 damage and 3 aborted. So he obviously wants to pick one that he knows he can damage. He's going to pick this one. So I roll for a save. And an 8 doesn't do it, so he's damaged. Okay, now aborting, I will roll for one of the 8s. And he gets aborted, so he's aborted. And another aborting, he'll go for one of the 9s, I believe. Yep. That's aborted. That's going to be the end of this sub battle, I think. And my last abort, I'll roll for the 8. And that's aborted. Alright. So, what do we got? We got 5, 6, 11. 11 sub points. 11 sub points. And he has what? 4, 2, 3, he has 8 ships. That's 1 sunk, 1 damaged, 3 aborted. So for sunk, we're going to pick what else? Convoy points. We'll sink these. These 3 right here. Where's the other one? Okay. And now, damage. He's going to try and damage the 6. This one. Gets a half damage. Well, actually gets aborted if it's saved. It saves. It's only aborted. Okay, so it's not damaged. And then what is it? 3 aborts? Yep, 3 aborts. And I'll go for a convoy. It's aborted. So there's 3 convoy points aborted. Take these 3, put them up there to show that they're aborted. He'll roll for the Birmingham. It saves. It's a half abort. And the last abort, that's it. That's it. No, there's one more. Last abort, I'll go with 3 convoy points again. That's an auto. Those are aborted. They will be back at the beginning of next turn. And the Germans are going to call it a day. A kind of good turn for the Germans as far as that goes. And these guys are all back in there, right there. Kind of gutted their convoys up there a little bit. Mostly sank all the Greeks, which is good. All those extra ships they got. And 1 tanker point sunk. Alright, so let's go. Oh, I want to show one other thing here. The Italians went out to sea. And the British haven't had a chance to reply yet. Over in Asia, nothing much happened. Not enough there for the Japanese to actually get an attack in, so. Alright, I'll run through the next cycle and see what happens. We have a possible naval battle in the Eastern Mediterranean. The Commonwealth has decided to come out. They've sorted Force H from Port Said, which is right here. And they brought over the Mediterranean fleet from Gibraltar. Now, this region is blizzard because the weather roll was an 11, which is blizzards everywhere, and just forget about it. Alright, so we got to do a search roll. See if anybody finds anybody. They'll flip a ship. They'll flip their sub. Yeah, why not? Well, a 9. You see that, right? A 9 and a 9. A 9 and a 9. A 9 and a 9 is no 9s, which is no combat. So we'll roll to see if the Democrats end the turn. That is a 4. It's just off camera. And they need a 3 to end the turn. Alright, I'm going to keep running through things, see if anything happens. Okay, the turn ended. I'll go over here and check it out. The turn ended very unusually. On the last impulse box, the communists ended the turn. They barely rolled 8, which is I think it's a 9. Yeah, it's a 9. So they just got under the wire for ending the turn. Now what that did is that moved the Democrats and the Communists from the +1 box down to the 0 box, and left the Fascists in the +2 box, which I'm sure they're happy about. Okay, nothing happened out in the Mediterranean. Nobody could find anybody because of the blizzards. Okay, that was basically the end of the turn anyways. So here we go. We got production. So, Germany saved like 5 oil this turn. Regardless, they still had a production of 34. They started with 15 and spent 25, including building the HQ Mainstein. The Japanese had a production of 19. They started with 7 and they spent 14. The Italians had a production of 13. They started with 12 and spent 9. The Soviets had a production of 15. Started with 7 and spent 0 because the new finance minister doesn't want to go the way of the old finance minister by screwing up again. So they're going to save their money so they can get their gear up in. The Commonwealth, despite losses in the convoys, still managed a production of 20. Started with 6 and spent 11. The U.S. had a production of 25, but they were way in the hole. they were 23 in the hole. So they started with 2 and they spent 5, including building a Lend-Lease fighter. Let's see, what is that? P-43A. The Chinese, they produced 5, got 1 from Cadre, got 1 from the U.S., started with 7, and spent 9. The Free French produced 1, started at -3, and spent 2. So they'll be at a -5 after this turn. I think they're trying to get a transport going so they can start moving stuff around because the British are a little stressed right now. So I'll get this on the wheel and hopefully I'll get this turn put together and uploaded in the next maybe day or so. Hey, thanks for watching. I appreciate it.